Tom Dart's plaque, but I guess we'll just get to that whenever he gets here, because he's not here tonight. Okay, we are now open for public comments. Is there anyone that'd like to address the board? No one's here. Okay, correspondence.
Bills.
Minutes.
Up minutes.
Oops.
We're all jumping. Minutes.
Minutes of the previous meeting. I appeared to skipped over that minutes.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes as read, or typed.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Bills? Are there any deletions or additions to the bills?
No, there is not.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Today's correspondence.
We got a letter from the library board. Dear Mayor Thone and Village Board of Trustees, the library board has nominated Natalie Wojciechowski to a 5-year term that resulted from the resignation of James Giro in May. Sincerely, Mary O'Connor, President, Board of Trustees of Library. That's just informational.
Okay, so we don't have to do anything then?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Library staff, you don't. The library board, you do have to vote to approve. If someone would make a motion.
I
to-
make a motion, we accept the
Thank you, sorry about that.
letter for,
I'll second.
Natalie.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So we got goes to me, we got the emergency medical services proposal from Champlain EMS for the weekend coverage. They presented a bunch of options to us, because the current coverage is Sunday, 6 p.m. to Friday, 6 p.m., 120 hours. Option 1, option 2 for tech only, tech plus basic, options 3 through 6, and full coverage option 7. We spoke, Trustee Arno and Trustee Pelkey spoke with the Fire Chief Mike, and we pretty much decided to go with option 1. Any questions?
no, it was, the options, were, you got all the options?
Yeah.
Oh, just a couple of them.
Well, currently we're paying $93,000 for the
93,
coverage.
Right.
And if we
Went up
go
to-
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday, so if we go with option 1, it's an additional $30,000 in coverage, but we don't have to pay it for 15 months. So it's a trial basis type thing, where because it's November, December, and their budget goes into effect of 2022, we'd be getting.
21.
It'll go through
20.
21, right till January of 2022.
Right.
That's when the new one. Then we would be charged the extra 30,000. We can pull out of this anytime we want. So we're gonna get weekend coverage of one tech from 6 p.m. to Sunday, from Friday 6 p.m. to Sunday 6 p.m. in our station. And they will run with our ambulance because we're lacking
EMTs.
EMTs and the personnel calls. So this is the trial basis, but we're not gonna be charged for it. But come February or March, is that correct, Arsen? We would have to put it in the budget for the following year
Yep.
as a line item.
Because our budget starts
June.
June, theirs starts January.
Right.
Yeah. So we're getting free coverage for a year and a half, just about.
Well, yeah, about 15 months.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be November, December. Once we authorize the mayor to sign the contract, the original $93,000 contract, it'll go into effect.
And this will give us a tech in the station for the weekend.
And we see how it goes, then you could pick another option if you see halfway down the line, if you didn't like it, or if you wanted to add more coverage, you could.
Make a motion to accept option 1.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Oh, my computer shut off. next thing is, I wanted to create a village Facebook and YouTube page. And the Facebook page would be to post correspondence. So if there's a notice for the fall cleanup or a spring cleanup, it'd be posted there, anything like that. And if we could probably post, like when this gets signed, we could post it online on Facebook so people could read it, understand it better, more transparency.
I don't think you want to post contracts on the internet.
True. I'm gonna go with you on that one.
Um,
But it'd be a place for correspondence, spring cleanup dates, and
There is already,
Power outage
there is already,
notices.
there is already a Facebook page, it's just not being kept up to date.
oh, there's already a Facebook page.
For the village, yeah, there is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
It's been on there for, quite, I don't know, 8 years or so. Right?
It's been a while, I don't have anything to do with it, but it's,
I've never seen it, who's the administrator?
Yeah, so I guess I'll just take that over.
Really?
And just post that,
Yeah.
post
I've never seen
the
it.
cleanup
It was-
notices, power
It
outage.
was the
notices,
administrator
stuff like
that put it on and stuff like that, you're right.
I've never seen it.
Yep.
I'm on Facebook and didn't know it existed.
And also
So
the
make
fire
use of
department
that.
has one, so.
I know the fire department has one.
Right.
So we'll make use of that to put out power outage notices, cleanup notices, and so on. And the nice thing is, we can shut the comments off. So we don't have to have someone in the village office moderate it. If we can shut the comments off and people want to comment about it, they've got street talk and word on the street, so. Also, I'd like to start a YouTube page for the village, so we could do tours of facilities, like the sewer plant, the water plant, to give people an idea of what the different departments do and how they work. Just kind of demystify some of the stuff for people in the village, because they don't know how the stuff works. And I know some people at the sewer plant have already done a nice series of videos for their families, and we could post those up there.
Yeah. More information you get out, the better, I guess.
Fewer rumors that way, hopefully. Because if
Yeah.
someone starts spreading rumors, we can just go, it's addressed in this video, or it's on the Facebook page of this, we've released this. Kind of tampering down some of the rumor mill, using things that spread it. Okay, and since Gadway's not here, we've got mold remediation. Well, does anyone, go back to the YouTube thing, what does the board think of it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see,
Some of the things you have to be careful. I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to expose the operations of all the water plant and electric department because of safety issues.
Right.
That's my concern.
And security. Yeah.
Yeah, make it, yeah, it's security issues, so.
It wouldn't be like, what valves do what and
No.
what switches do what. It'd be
Just the
generic.
basic idea of how it's being operated, maybe.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't get into too much detail on, you know, the security or how things work and. yeah.
No, there wouldn't be that.
Okay.
This would be generic,
Other
like
than
this is roughly how things do.
who would do that anyway?
I would be the one making the videos. I'd do the editing and everything.
Because I think not all employees want to be on the internet.
I know.
No.
So it'd be whoever volunteers to help with the videos, and I do all the editing myself. And then we'd probably have a showing with the board before it goes up, so they could see, so you could all see what it is, and if you wanted to post certain things and whatnot, and then I could edit out whatever you didn't want in there.
Yeah,
it'd
definitely.
be nice for people to, you know, I mean,
I-
if they wanna see the inside of the rec center, if you have, you know, take the,
Give a nice tour of the rec center,
right,
basic tour of the sewer plant, basic tour of the water plant.
Yeah, you could do a tour of the walkway around
the rec park.
our rec park here.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, there's-
Yeah, that's all right. But like Arsen says, there's a lot of the guys, I remember I used to go around and take pictures and stuff like that, and a lot of guys didn't want their picture taken. So you probably better ask them first.
Yeah,
Right.
it'd be volunteers, whoever wanted to help with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Does this, I don't think this really takes us all. Mold remediation. I couldn't really read this very well. 3 mold remediations. KAS did an inspection plus provide a remediation plan. First Choice Remediation has submitted a proposal to do the work for $2,474.87. And there's another one, I can't really read this handwriting very well.
Somebody has terrible handwriting. There's the second quote we were getting today. They came in and looked around the Civic Center today, but they haven't gotten it to us written up yet. So the only one we have in writing is the $2,475 for First Choice Restoration.
Okay.
That's the one out of Plattsburgh?
Shazy,
Shazy?
yeah.
And what I've got on the notes here from
Champlain,
Gad,
Shazy.
Easy, I think.
what I've got here from the notes from Gadway is, in order not to delay another 2 weeks, he would like a motion that we approve the remediation not to exceed $2,474.87. $2,474.87.
Not to go over that.
Not to go over that.
So if the other guy comes in lower,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is that a budgeted item?
Oh, no.
It's not.
We didn't plan to need mold remediation
No.
this year.
More like it'll come out of the self-insurance fund.
Other than that, the park, tennis, and pickleball courts are done. Fences are up. The baseball field is done, just needs to be seeded. The softball field will be done soon. The project is generally completed now, other than a few things to handle. Trustee Arno?
Well, we got on here the library door, which,
It's ordered. It's been ordered.
it's been ordered, and it was supposed to have been ordered a long time ago, but apparently it was never signed or whatever, the PO number, or the PO. So that's on order. So, did he give you a time, or,
No, he said he'd call when it's ready.
okay, all right. So it's from Shazy Hardware. The door will be coming from, it's for the library, down in the cellar. All righty, and the tree trimming and the removal. Brian and I talked about the trees and stuff that we're gonna remove. There's one in the park, or 2 in the park, that's gotta be taken down. And one in front of the coffee shop, which is pretty well had it. And we're still looking at the one on Montgomery Street, that big one. It's raising the sidewalk up, it's pushing the curbing out, and also it's going into the cellar of the people's house. The roots are.
Yeah, right, like next door to my office, it's just that
Yes,
thrift shop kind of thing.
right,
Crafty Creations.
yeah. So. Anyhow,
Antique shop.
no, this is on Montgomery Street. That
Oh,
big
that's
tree on
okay.
Montgomery Street.
Okay.
The roots are this high, much higher than the sidewalk. They're just pushing the sidewalk right apart and stuff like that. And then there's a porch right close to the other side of the sidewalk, so when the sidewalk plow goes through there, if it hits the roots, we're gonna be taking out the porch.
Porch, yeah.
So we gotta do something.
It's also causing a trip hazard, so
Yeah.
we need to address it before somebody gets hurt.
Yeah. So,
I thought you were also talking about the tree root that's in the antique shop next door.
Right.
A few doors down from me, where it's growing into their basement too.
yeah. Yeah. So anyhow, I guess that's it, Mr. Mayor, for now.
Trustee Menard?
Yes, a few weeks back, well, before school started, we addressed the crossing guard. We had a couple of people retire, and we said we were gonna put one out on Route 11. And I guess we have another person that's retiring or resigning. And the one lady that's been out on Route 11 says she's had one child the whole school year so far. So I'm gonna make a motion that we just do one at the main crossing area in front of the school, and we'll keep the other one open for now. You know, we'll do, you know, we won't fill it at this point in time. If we see if parents call us and say, you know, my kids are starting to walk across and we get more than one person in a month, you know, we can always readdress that and put another crossing guard over there. But at this time, I wanna make a motion that we just leave it as one crossing guard, and we have a sub also.
We have 2 subs.
We have 2 subs and 1 crossing guard, so I just make a motion that we leave it at that, and we don't fill that position at this time.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the only other thing I have is just wanna remind everybody in the village that next week will be the fall pickup, cleanup. So get your stuff out by the road so the village crew can pick it up. And that's all I have for this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Pelkey?
The first thing I want to bring up is, we lost a past employee of the village here, Aaron Babby, passed away. Our deepest sympathy goes out to his family, and they're in our thoughts and our prayers. The next thing I have is I'm working on another IEP project for the fire department. As you know, we had some, we're working on some mini split air handlers over there, but it was brought to my attention that they have a compressor problem. And the compressor problem is more of a problem than what the air conditioning is right now. So myself and the mayor had a conference call with Mike Lyons, he's the director of the IEP. So we pitched a few ideas to him on cost savings, how we would take X number of compressors out of service and install one larger compressor with an air dryer. This is gonna solve the water problems that is polluting the trucks with water all through the air system. These trucks run on air, they run all the valves, they run the brakes, they run everything. So when you contaminate the whole truck, it could get expensive. So he asked us to get 3 quotes, which I did. John Bernard helped me out. He spec'd out, he called the company, spec'd out the size of the unit that we would need, the air dryer, the whole unit. So they sent us 2 different air compressors. One is called a rotary screw drive, and the other one is just a regular standard commercial air compressor like in the water plant. After talking with the chief and John Bernard, I asked them to do a little more research on these rotary screw air compressors, why they're a little bit more, and you know. But they're telling me they recover the CFMs better, they're quieter, and they just work. The longevity is just going to be so much better. So when we talked to Mike Lyons with the IEP, he said that he had no problem of us going with whatever compressor we want. So after talking with the chief and to the mechanic and their recommendation, I recommend that we go with the Granger for a grand total of $5,888.75. And the IEP said they would pay 100% of it. Because there's no money in the budget, and we're fortunate we have the IEP to help fund this project, it would be no increase to the taxes or to the general fund. Because the fire department already put the trunk line system in, they spent all that money to get everything ready for a larger compressor. So I put that in the form of a motion, that we go with the Granger.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, the second thing, I was going through the budget, and I know Trustee Arno and myself, we kind of worked on the same project with these speed limit signs. So I reached out to Champlain. They have one on Prospect. It tells you your speed, it tells you to slow down, it flashes at you. It's a pretty unique sign. So I was all excited on getting the quotes and information. I was talking to Benny, and he's got the quotes and information. We'll come to find out that in the budget, that money was removed at the August or September's meeting to come up with the $36,000 shortfall for the rec center grant here.
Yep.
So now, the only thing that we could do is at least keep it for a budgeted item come March or February. We can put it back in the budget, and hopefully we can get through these signs to slow some of this traffic down. I don't know how the board feels about that, but I think,
We voted on it once.
Yeah, we voted on it once.
right, I think everybody was under the impression that the money was still in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not, unfortunately.
Well, thank you, Mr.
Keep the quote and we'll,
Thank you for doing that. Yep.
At least we have all the literature to contact people, where to go, so we don't have to do a lot of running around.
yeah.
The sewer line for the north end pump station is completed. I thought Benny would bring that up, but
Yep.
they're gonna start removing sludge this week, Wednesday. They're gonna take out 70 tons of sludge because the price went up from $45 to $60 a ton. So they can't take out the 80, so Danny made the negotiation to take out at least 70. So you'll be seeing those trucks be rolling out of there. And they go to the landfill in Malone, I think, Franklin County. I was also, got a phone call from a local resident. Back last winter, when we were having our business meetings with the business community, myself, Trustee Arno, Marathon, if you remember, they talked about these skidoo trails. I got a call this week from one of the head ones of this trail committee. They got permission to come all the way down 276, and they're gonna groom trails all the way down to 276 to Church Street. So they're thinking that might be a starting point for people to come here to a destination to load their snowmobiles and be able to ride that whole trail all the way up through Moores and up to Standish, wherever it goes to. So it'd be good for our businesses, and I told them to just keep us in the loop, so if there's anything that we can do to help this organization to, for information or, contact other people, because the businesses really need these people to come into our community in the wintertime. Because that's the toughest part. That's what they expressed to us last March when we had our meetings. So to me, that was a little bit of good news, and I was happy to hear from them, and I told them that our phones are always, anything we can do to help them, we will.
That's fantastic news, really.
Yeah, it is, and they have the permission to come all the way down to Church Street right now, right to the base of their Richard's property. That's really good news. Yep. And the last thing I have is I need an executive session to discuss personnel issues. I put that in the form of motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, other reports. Cooper?
No, you guys received I'm gonna do, all I have to do is run off that quarter, I'm gonna do that quarterly from now on. Nobody's ever asked me about it before since I've been here, so I have it on my computer, so we'll do it quarterly here, like we'll get one at the end of the year and everything. If anybody has any questions anytime, I'm always around. Okay?
Yep.
Thanks.
What does stick built in the thing mean, on the code, on the permits mean?
All these guys got a college education, don't know what a stick belt house is.
Stick built.
I know what a stick built house is, but what does it mean on the
Permit.
permit?
Stick
Because
built
it's
house.
Stick
like a
built.
roof, or is it just?
No, it means a whole home, total
Okay.
home, stick built.
So it's not like a new roof, it's not anything specific?
No,
just a new
it's not like,
roof on a
the only
stick.
thing is that there's a stick built, excuse me, a stick built, instead of a module or a double wide or something like that.
Oh,
It's just-
so it's like they're doing work on a stick-built house as opposed to a modular house as opposed to that? Okay, I thought it was referring to like building a new stick-built
Well,
house.
sometimes when they push the computer, it'll come up with a stick built, rather than, if you wanna do re-roofing, instead of, it comes up on the re-roofing, I don't know what's wrong with that thing, but every once in a while it does some strange things. Sometimes it only depends half the page, sometimes, but anyway, it works and I'm happy.
Okay. I was just curious as to what that was, what was it as a greater meaning to it.
You and Susan.
Treasurer Letourneau?
You should all have a copy of a bank resolution. All it is authorizing the signatures, who's on the bank accounts. The only change is that we're removing the former mayor and putting the current mayor on. And someone to entertain a motion for that, and
I put that in the form of a motion to accept this resolution.
I'll second it. All in favor, vote aye.
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 that's all I have.
And Susan?
To follow up on the noise issue that we had talked about at the last meeting, I did order and receive a decibel monitor, because it is in our ordinance that 61 decibels is considered too loud in a residential area. And we've got an issue with a residential area abutting up against a commercial area. So if the commercial area does play outdoor music and outdoor seating next year, we've got the sound monitor. We'll go and we'll set it up at the limit of this person's property across the street. And if it does read over 61 decibels, then we can go and talk with the owners of the restaurant and show them the ordinance and, ask them to turn down the amplification on the music at that point in time and see if
Whose
we
job
can-
is that gonna be?
For what, to
To put up the
monitor?
decibel meter?
Well, that would be John Cooper, the code enforcer, because it's our code, that it's gotta be 61 decibels or under. Otherwise, it's a nuisance noise. And then hopefully we'll see, I don't even know if they're going to be playing outdoor music next year. I think it was kind of a blanket permission that restaurants were allowed to do outdoor seating. So we need to.
Well, what
see if
happens,
that-
what happens when the resident takes and blows his horn when the music is playing?
Well, yeah, we've got to work with, make sure that there's not throwing gasoline on the fire and making it worse. So, is that gonna hit 61 decibels, or is that just going to be annoying somebody else? Yeah, we'll have to deal with both sides of it. But we at least have the option now to start looking at, does it reach the level of what our village code calls unwarranted noise?
Now, the village does have a time for noise limits. It's 10 o'clock at night in the village code.
No, I'm sorry, it's
No?
not, and I gave you all a copy of the noise ordinance last week. We don't have a time in the ordinance at all.
I thought it was 10 o'clock at night.
Nope, it just
You had
says-
no noise.
In a residential area, it states if you can hear the music or noise at the property line and it's bothering the person on the other side of the property line, then it's too loud. And it does mention that, in any instance, 61 decibels would be the maximum noise that someone can make for a sustained amount of time. Not, if a car horn blows and it's 70, it's a very brief, as long as they're not laying on it.
There's like an
For a
exception
sustain.
for like
But it-
weed whackers and lawnmowers.
Right, there are exceptions in it. And commercial operations are excluded under normal business circumstances. So a couple things, it's a commercial, but it's abutting up against a residential, so we have that issue to deal with. What is normal business operations this year, when everyone kind of got the blanket okay from the governor to do outside seating for a restaurant, might not be normal operations next year, if that, is still in place or not. So we will have to keep an eye on this and see what's happening next year, if they still want to do outdoor seating, outdoor music, we at least have a way to begin to address it.
Well, I think we're opening up a can of worms here, because we had this discussion, I think when Dan Letourneau was mayor, about truck traffic with the Jake break going down Champlain Street and the Jake break going down Lake Street and stuff like that and everything. And we couldn't do nothing about it because it was a safety issue.
Right, that's not music, that's normal operation of a truck, so that would be excluded.
said that we have this meter in our possession.
Yeah,
How much was the meter?
$45.
I have one other thing, Mr. Mayor, she's all done.
No, actually, I'm not.
Okay.
Sorry. I did also put something into your packets, the village career advancement program, because a question had come out whether certain employees were required to have certain schooling, or whether it was just being offered. So I gave you all a copy of, the appendix B is from the union contract, the career advancement program. If we need somebody with a certification and that person's supervisor recommends them and they've got good job evaluations up to that point, they can be sent to any sort of school, but they have to sign a contract where they will work for the village for 3 years after the end of the schooling. Otherwise, they would have to pay the cost of the schooling back. And there is a specific page, B3, it specifically talks about the electrical apprentice program. And it's pretty much the same contract, but it spells it out for the electric school that will pay 100% of the tuition, but they have to work for the village for 3 years afterwards. And that is all I have.
So this is just for information only?
Yes, because we had talked about it a bit last time.
All right, Mr. Mayor, I have one other thing. I'd like to order a plaque, 2 plaques, in fact, one for Donald Bomio and one for Brian Pelkey for the years of service that they did to the village.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
You're getting a plaque. You're getting a plaque. Okay.
I make a motion that we go into recess.
I'd like to bring up something real quick, because I was hoping someone would come in. When you're driving through other villages, have you seen the, like, local hero flags that some places have on their light posts?
Yep.
Someone brought it up on Facebook with me, and I was hoping they'd come in here and talk about it, but they'd like to do that in Rouses Point as well.
You got
Uh,
We don't have to act on it right now, but to put it on the radar, because.
We have the holders. The holders are on some of the poles.
Yeah.
So if they're talking about purchasing the flag themselves, right?
I think so. Or just having the flags up or installing them. Because if they want to buy the flags themselves, it'd just be a matter of us
Us
installing them.
installing them, because we already have those, remember those tubes that we
Yeah.
put on the aluminum
Mhm.
poles
Yeah.
for some of the banners?
Yep.
So if they wanted to buy them and it supports our local heroes, hey, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I can get back to them with that, because if people want to buy them, for us to put them up, that'd be great.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with
Maybe
times,
the Legion, even. If they see Legion money, they would know
Mhm.
probably who the local heroes are from past years and past wars and stuff.
Oh, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
There's quite a few.
So I can get back to the person on Facebook then with them, telling them that we have them up, we have the mounts for them, that people just have to buy them on their own.
yeah, unfortunately, it's not a budgeted item for us, and the
Right.
way that our funds are right now, things are getting pretty tight.
Yeah. Not only that, some of the poles, you won't be able to put them on because we had the, no, I guess not. Downtown, well, they got the flags on them and stuff like that, and you couldn't put them downtown.
No, those
Mostly
are-
it'd be Champlain Street and
Yeah. Lake
probably
Street.
Lower Lake here. There's a few of those mounts. They're a fiberglass tube that you
Yeah.
slide the flag on and put a clip in them.
Probably
Might have to
nice
adjust
down
them.
Main Street anyway.
You
Yeah.
could also put it up south on Lake Street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
south on Lake.
Yeah.
So there is places to put them. I mean, we can, you know, we have the manpower and to do them, because we have to pay the guys to be here anyway, so
Yeah.
And we've got the stuff to hang them up, so. Easy enough.
I think that'd be a good compromise.
Yeah.
so we're gonna skip that part. Motion for recess, temporary recess, so we can go into executive.
Motion,
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thanks, Tom.
You guys good?
Yep, have a good night.
Instead, right?